everybody, welcome back to another episode of Lost Out Survival. Today we're returning. Today we gotta go ahead and mow down a chopper, man. But as soon as we are done doing this, and we have our friend Thug Bill over here to help us out as well. He's gonna be doing all this looting, doing the heavy work for us. So thank you, Thug Bill, for the help. But guess what else we got? Boom! We got a look into the brand new dog update coming to Last Day on Earth. So this is something that I noticed when I was actually scrolling through Instagram. Make sure to follow me at Starsnipe on Instagram, by the way. Totally not shameless self-plug. But as we were saying, this is a little something that I did notice when I was scrolling through Instagram, and by the looks of it, it is a sneak peek into some sort of a complete revamp that is going to be going on to the current dog system. And holy guacamole, there is a lot of amazing things to take away from this. It looks like it is very much so inspired from Grimsoul, which, dude, we called this a couple of weeks back when it got added into Grimsoul. I'm like, dude, because this is something that happens quite often between a couple of the mobile survival games like Grimsoul Survival, Westland Survival, Last Day on Earth Survival. Sometimes when we see a feature added into one of the games, we will then see it kind of like crossover between the rest, since it is all based in the same engine. So if that feature is possible in one game, it means that the feature exists like in general, and it can be implemented across the other games as well. But back to what we were saying, we called that a couple weeks ago, and now we are seeing what appears to be exactly that coming to fruition. So let's go ahead and actually break down what we are seeing. So boom, what we are seeing over here appears to be what a puppy will be like. And I want you guys to also keep track of a couple of things. The perks on the right hand side, there are 4 total perks at the moment. You guys can also see all of those stats and the fact that there's a level associated with the dog. Most likely as the dog levels up, its stats will increase, so it will get like more health, which makes me think that the dogs will actually be kind of like a mercenary, where they can actually be targeted by zombies, and you know, they're not just going to be there constantly doing damage on the side, but they'll actually act like a person. But then we are also seeing that stamina bar, so that's probably how many bites they could do before they get tired, you know, kind of like when you need to feed them a dog treat, for example, with the True Friend perk. And speaking of the True Friend perk, you guys are going to notice something amazing about it that I think everyone is going to love, and is going to be one of the best things about this update. But let's continue going over those stats. That third category appears to be just a picture of the dog's mouth, so probably that is going to be how much damage each bite does. Below that, we have what appears to be the dog running, so maybe the attack speed, or just in general the speed of the dog. And then at the bottom, we have some sort of a hunger meter, so that hunger meter is probably going to be how much food it could take in, how big its belly is, something like that. And that is likely going to level up as the levels themselves continue going up. And then also pay attention to that little like hexagon above level 1 that does have the photo of our puppy. All right, and then boom, let's move on to this second image where we can see that our dog has gained quite a few levels. And it's going to be interesting too, because it looks like our dog will be able to level up from level 1 to 99. So similar to that Grimsoul system, we will actually be able to like level up our dogs, and they will become more powerful and more experienced as we take them out, as they get experience themselves battling all these zombies and stuff. So it's gonna be super awesome to be able to progress our dogs and not just breed them, have them have perks, and that's it. This is gonna be so much cooler, so much more in depth, and dude, I am so freaking excited for it. But back to what we were saying, we can see that a lot of those categories have leveled up, but check it out. There is now 1 star below the dog. And with this star system, we could also see that now there are 2 perks on the right. Before, there was only 1 perk enabled for that little like doggy, like the little puppy. He only had that little like learning hat perk at the top. Now that there is 1 star under the dog though, there is a second perk available. And the important thing is that second perk looks like it is the True Friend perk, and it appears to be a common perk. It is not going to be an extremely rare perk anymore. It looks like with this update, it will be revamped, so True Friend dogs are a lot more common, and they're no longer the end-all be-all. They're going to be kind of like the default, the standard, and then from there, the important thing is going to be getting likely these like battle perks that do make your dogs themselves more powerful as they do go out and adventure along with you. And then boom, here we have a 3-star dog at maximum level. Now you might be like, so they gain stars as they level up. up, but no, because this is likely going to be based off that Grimsoul system that we were talking about. In case you guys have not seen it, make sure to check out that video that we did post about the Grimsoul update that added in wolflings into Grimsoul, which is kind of very similar to what we are seeing here, where it is like a lot more kind of in-depth and not just like the current dog breeding system in the last day on Earth. So that should be a pretty good little baseline for you guys to kind of understand some things going on here. But with the stars, most likely what is going to happen is that there are going to be 4 tiers of dogs. There are going to be common dogs, there are going to be rare dogs, there are going to be unique dogs, and there are going to be legendary dogs. Common dogs have no stars, rare dogs have 1 star, unique dogs have 2 stars, legendary dogs have 3 stars. As you breed dogs, they have the ability to level up and gain more stars. So the breeding system is still going to be in place, and you will still be able to get higher level dogs. So like a level 4 dog currently would be like a 3-star dog, right? Like a level 1 dog in the current system would be a 0-star dog from what we are seeing. And with those stars, it appears that each star will give you an additional perk. So no stars gives you 1 perk, 3 stars will give you 4 different perks. And we can also see that these perks might actually be changing in rarity, because we do see the fact that the True Friend perk appears to have become a lot more common, and then those skills at the bottom, including that like that bite skill, that might be the guard dog skill as is currently, but we might actually see that be like maybe a bonus damage skill, and these dogs might just end up like there might be an entire perk revamp coming along with this update as well, since so much stuff is going to be changing. But nonetheless, some super amazing takeaways to be had from this little teaser that was posted again as an Instagram ad. And we have seen this like dog armor teased before in some of the Thursday development sections, and well, we are seeing that it actually appears it can be put on the dog. Boom! What you guys are seeing here is actually that dog having that armor in action. This is an in-game look already at the dog with the armor on, meaning that this update might be more prepared than we were originally thinking. This might be relatively close, and given the fact that there's a secret update in store for us on the 2-year anniversary of Last Day on Earth, this might very well be what that is. But then you might be like, Star, but that's what the swamp might end up being. And that's actually a very valid point, because we have seen that the swamp is looking like it is becoming very prepared and very ready. So I think what is actually happening is that Kafir is preparing for the holy motherload of updates to drop on the 2-year anniversary of Last Day on Earth, to really have it come with a bang. What I think is possible is that the swamp will be added, the whole western zone, the western watchtower, all that type of jazz, and as a part of that update, a dog revamp will come along with it as well. But let's go back to focusing on this armor that we are seeing over here, and the fact that we will be able to equip our dogs with armor, meaning that there will be dog armor that will likely give them defense, make them take less damage, or we do see some pockets and stuff on this armor as well. We might actually finally, dude, this is something I've been calling for like over a year, I think, man. Have the ability for a little doggy backpack, even if it's just a couple of storage slots, dude. It looks like we're gonna be able to like interact with our dog, since our dog is gonna have like an entire interface. He's gonna have like levels. We're gonna be able to like level up our dog most likely. He's gonna have individualized stats with how much damage he does. We obviously got to be able to feed him out in the field, kind of similar to the Grimsoul system. And with this armor, dude, the ability that we could potentially store stuff into him, like we've seen that the mercenaries have storage space. It's not out of the world for like this backpack to give the dog a little bit of storage space. Will it be insane? No, but like I could definitely see like maybe 2, maybe 4 extra storage slots coming along, and maybe of course there also being different types of dog armors with different benefits, different amounts of armor, different amounts of storage space. But nonetheless, holy guacamole, dude, this update is looking absolutely nutty, between the fact that these dogs are going, like True Friend is going to be a lot easier to get. The dogs are going to have all these stats associated with them. The whole perk system is going to be revamped. There's going to be the ability to level them up. You're still going to be able to breed dogs together to allow them to have more perks. Like, this is looking absolutely insane, and definitely something I want to make sure that you guys and gals are aware of, especially with the potential, because on the roadmap, we do know that we are expecting a secret update. The time frame for when to expect that update is lining up very nicely with the 2-year anniversary of Last Day on Earth. We saw that for the 1-year anniversary, they already did do an update, so definitely a couple of things that we could see. And yo, Thug Bill, get out the way. I'm trying to loot this guy because I think your inventory is full. Bill, you gonna finish looting him? No, let me do the looting then. Let me do the looting. Oh, just a couple of clothes. All right, Thug, you did good. You chose the right hello shotgun rain things out of that body. But yeah, we'll be talking about Thug Bill over here, our newly found mercenary friend, and the fun we're gonna be having with this lad, since we did rent him out for 24 hours. So we're gonna be having a fun time with him, because he seriously does appear to be, like, in terms of some of his perks, he appears to be one of the better looting companions. He comes with 16 slots, so he's gonna be awesome, especially with that extra health for any like battling adventures, because he does also have the ability to loot enemies. Like if you're going into a dungeon type scenario, so like the bunker, maybe just any area that has a lot of loot, it looks like he's gonna be a good friend. And speaking of dungeons, and speaking of that roadmap, we still have that single player basement dungeon update to expect coming soon as well. So we definitely have a situation where Thug Bill, oh Bill, I'm so sorry, man. Okay, I'm not hitting your shoes. I think we're good. Might be a little bit of splash effect, but I'm just trying to pee on that guy, just trying to fertilize his body so he grows into a beautiful tree or something like that, and drink up the rest of that water over there. But like we were saying, obviously that single player dungeon update can likely be expected within most likely the next 2 weeks. Potentially it could drop when that mercenary update does finish, when the mercenary camp disappears, since for now it is a temporary update. But just given that, like we've talked about this in the past episode, but just given the type of mechanics they had to implement for this to happen, we're definitely going to see these guys return in some fashion. Potentially, what was that sound? Don't be talking about sounds, my man. Potentially see them, potentially, like this might be how the settler system actually works with the outpost update when that comes down the line, speaking of the roadmap and whatnot. But so we can expect, it's pretty reasonable within the next 2 weeks before that next update to drop. It's usually not a super long wait between updates. We have seen already some works in progress of the single player dungeon, so we might very well see that dungeon drop. And it'd be very cool too if they do drop it before the mercenary update is out, because then before the mercenary update is up, before they disappear, because then we would have the power to bring them along into such dungeons, which I think would be really freaking cool. But back to what we were saying with that secret update, the time frame is lining up very nicely for the 2-year anniversary of Last Day on Earth to be able to be that secret update. And given, you know, some of the stuff that we are seeing about the dogs and the revamp coming for them, and not to mention the swamp and how that's been starting to really get teased more and more, things are going very, very nicely, and these next couple of updates are going to be fuego. So I'm absolutely looking forward to them, and hopefully you guys are as well. But like I'm saying, let me know specifically what you guys are thinking. I mean, I'd love to hear about the swamp and all of these other updates, how the mercenaries might tie into them, but I think you guys know what we've been talking about today. What I want to hear from you guys and gals in that comment section down below. Let me know your guys' thoughts on this dog revamp that does appear to be in the works, and all that it might encompass, because holy guacamole, it just has such major connotations. And honestly, why don't we go, have we already looted everything up? We'll go back to home and actually showcase kind of like the current dog system for those of y'all that do not know about it and why this is such a big deal. So Thug Bill, come on down, partner. We about to go pet some pups. Is that cool with you? Because we kind of have a massive inventory of puppies. So Thug Bill, I hope you're a dog person. You're about to be in puppy heaven. But let me know what you guys are thinking of this dog update and some of the changes, and maybe, you know, some things that we didn't bring up that you may have noticed out of this video, or some kind of ways you think things might be working. You know, definitely let me know in that comment section down below. I would absolutely love to hear. And a reminder that that comment is going to put you 1/3 of the way into the wing $25 at your touch place store gift card giveaway. All you gotta do as well is make sure to hit that like button, make sure to subscribe. That'll enter you in on today's video. Y'all can go ahead and enter in on every single Last Day on Earth video. When Saturday rolls around, we'll pick a random video for the past week, pick a random comment from that random video, and that will be what for the week. And we'll kick off a new weekly giveaway that exact same Saturday as well. So make sure you stay tuned with that notification bell to stay up to date with every single video y'all can enter in on for that weekly giveaway. Not to mention all the other dope survival games going up on the channel as well that you should definitely give a look if you have not already. But check it out. This is the way that the current dog system works. We have all of these different puppies. We have so many puppies, but guess what? We cannot bring any of them along for an adventure until the true friend perk is brought. And even then, we can only bring one of them with us for an adventure. We only have one true friend dog. You literally, like in the current system, and this is why, in my opinion, the current system is pretty poopy, and why this revamp could be such a big deal is because it could make dogs into like a core feature of the game, and instead of this incredibly end game thing. Because let me just say, realistically speaking, you're probably not going to get a true friend perk in the current system unless you go ham on dogs, okay? It's ridiculous to get this. So this ability where you guys can actually see that little, like, this is the perk that we saw, the common perk. This probably isn't going to change to where, because we saw that this perk, the true friend icon and the companion icon in that little screenshot were the exact same rarity, right? And I don't think the companion icon's going to suddenly become harder. Rather, the true friend icon is going to become easier and become a common trait. And then we also saw some of those other icons, such as the guard dog, which actually turned into a different color. We saw this perk, or this icon, become red. And I'm guessing that with those colorings that we saw, likely the blue perks that we saw, like the first two, which was this icon and the true friend icon, those are probably going to be common. The third one we saw, which was yellow, is probably going to be rare, and then the reds are going to be the rarest. And all of a sudden the guard dog became the rarest. So there's definitely going to be some sort of perk reorganizing going throughout all of this as well. But just in general, the new system, in my opinion, is going to be a very, very large improvement. Let me see if I can actually try and find out why, besides the fact that I have 1 billion dogs and none of them to breed with, because oh my, dude, I have so many male level 1s, so many female level 2s, so many male level 3s. It's just, I don't know, dude. It's just, my luck is freaking awful when it comes down to that. And I hear a lot of people actually do have issues with the luck as well. But long story short, you have to, like, every time you breed a level 1 dog with a level 1 dog, there's a chance it goes up to level 2. Every time you breed 2 level 2s, there's a chance it goes up to level 3. Every time you breed 2 level 3s, there's a chance it goes up to level 4. That true friend perk you can only get at level 4 if you're lucky. I've had level 4 dogs before that have not had the true friend perk. That is seriously insane to get, but with this revamp, it could be changing, man. And that's why it's such a big deal, because it will make dogs more central, you know, really make them a companion to bring along with us. And just in my opinion, that is something definitely to be excited about. So like I'm saying, can't wait to hear what you guys got to think about it and got to say about it in that comment section down below, because I think we would all love to have dogs be a potential companion. And I love the whole kind of companion system that's kind of developing, you know, because with this dog revamp that's in the works, with this mercenary system, Kafir is really adding on to this feeling of going out with a party, you know, not going out alone, but going out with like a mercenary, going out with a dog accompanying us too. Like, I'm just saying, that's going to be really freaking cool. And the fact that our dog is going to level up as we go out, as it battles, as it gains battle experience, like, that's just so freaking cool, man. And you know what? Speaking of dogs and the current dog system, why don't we go ahead and, okay, just making sure this pistol is ready for our raid. Why don't we go ahead and actually bring along our true friend dog to kind of showcase the way that it currently works and kind of how we could expect it to be different in the future, because let's go ahead and feed the puppies. And you might be like, Star, why would they revamp dogs? And this is another thing that I want to bring up. We've seen multiple systems get revamped in Last Day on Earth. We saw the vehicle system, the chopper system get revamped to the point where we have a garage dedicated to it, where there are different versions where we can level up each of our different types of vehicles. We have seen the weapon modification get totally revamped to the point where we can actually build all of these weapon mods one by one and then custom mod and put these mods on one at a time. Back in the day, weapon mods, the ways that they worked is that you literally just, you had a chance at getting a weapon mod on one of your weapons, and if you were lucky, there was a fully modded version you could get to. So you got one perk, or you got one attachment per weapon if you got lucky and you got a modded weapon, or you would find a fully modded weapon with all 4 potential attachments. So there was literally 6 versions of guns: the vanilla version, one version for each of the 4 attachments, and then one version with every attachment on it. So definitely, you know, very different from what we are seeing here now. So we have seen this kind of whole revamp thing happen in the past. We've seen leveling up get revamped as well. In case you guys did not know, you did not used to level up by having, like, whatchamacall, all these different perks that you picked one by one. You know how you leveled up? You had to go over to one of these zones, and then you just had to get EXP in that specific zone. And then you had a random chance at getting one of 6 specific perks. It was such a bad system compared to how they've improved it now. And it really does seem that Kafir is committed to, like, improving them, which is really awesome to see. Like, all of these systems get refined. The dog system is obviously one that needs to be refined, which is another reason why this update is going to be so awesome, and also the fact why it is kind of so needed. And also, let's go ahead and actually craft up these hatches. That's the one thing that I forgot to kind of do over there, but like I'm saying, we'll be bringing our true friend Doggo along, Lexi, for some fun. But yeah, man, definitely looking forward to this update. I think it's going to be huge. It's going to make dogs kind of a more core mechanic and more of a companion compared to what they are now, and not make a true friend slash a companion dog ridiculously impossible to get, because once they do change that true friend perk to be common, oh baby, that is going to be big. And also that notification bell is going to be big for staying up to date with all the latest and greatest of Last Day on Earth information, because as soon as any type of new info does come out, such as that which we found today, literally just scrolling through our Instagram, like whether that information be found through means like that, or if that information is found by like Kafir officially, like, you know, announcing something like on Twitter, on Facebook, that type of jazz, doesn't matter how it is found. Oh, look at that, we got the dog over here, we got the Raider. Don't leave. No, I'm not letting you go. I'm not letting you go. God dang it, he left again. My Raiders always leave me, man. Why do you have to do this to me? But we're always staying in the loop with that information and keeping you guys as up to date with it as humanly possible. And of course, not just that, as soon as any type of new update does come out, we are also diving into it. Where did my dog just run off to, bro? My dog is not following me anymore. Okay, doggo. You're like, what happened to my dog? Oh, there we go. He's following me. He like ran headfirst into the base suddenly for some reason. I have no clue why. Speaking of which, we got a little bit of a smaller base raid today by the looks of it. So let's go ahead and bust into here and see what we got. Bada bing, bada boom. Oh, look at my dog freaking flinch at that. And we have one chest. Oh, baby. A triple. One chest. Here's the thing. I think it's actually a pretty good chest. I'm not gonna lie, but still, man. And also, but check it out here. The current way the dog system works, you can't even interact with it. But likely what's gonna be able to happen is that the dog will have kind of like that interaction circle under them. We'll be able to click on this icon right there and interact with the dog. Kind of similar to the Mercenary, except the dog will also have like a stats interface or something like that. We'll be able to see all of its perks. And of course, we can continue breeding our dogs together. And like Lexi is a level 4 dog. So what that would mean is that you don't need a level 4 dog to have true friend anymore, but if you have a level 4 dog, whatchamacallit, they will have 4 perks, because a level 4 dog would translate to a 3-star dog from what we were seeing, and that would mean that Lexi would have 4 perks, kind of similar to the way kind of dogs and perks currently do work, but they would be able to also level up and gain EXP and become more powerful in addition to their breeding level, if that makes sense. But as soon as that dog update and any of these future updates does come out, like freaking that basement update, that secret update, which might end up being the dog update, potentially tied in with the swamp update, or honestly, at this point, I'm convinced that that secret update is going to either be the swamp update, the dog update, or both of them jam-packed into one to really celebrate the 2-year anniversary of Last Day on Earth with a bang. And trust me, that would definitely be a bang to celebrate with. So obviously, whenever that update does come out, and any type of update does come out, that notification bell is a great way of staying up to date with all the future updates of Last Day on Earth. And let's freaking go. I like the loot that we getting today, and well, nice seeing you, raid. That was a walk in and walk out right there. There's literally nothing else to do on that raid, dear mama. But maybe we could get like a airdrop to spawn in, because we have inventory room. Hey, dealer, how you doing, buddy? Maybe if we run home and exit real quick, we should be able to get an airdrop to spawner at some point. I'm convinced that one should be able to pop in. But yeah, we're staying up to date with those new updates. As soon as that update does come out, we're going to be diving headfirst into it and showcasing off every single little thing that it has to offer. New locations, new enemies. In the case of the swamp, all the swamp and all the newness over there. New crafting recipes, the dog system, all that type of jazz. And it doesn't matter how hard that stuff is, we're going to be diving headfirst into it. We got tons of loot to blow through. Let's freaking go. And we got an airdrop to go to too. But we got tons of loot to blow through, and I'm more than willing to sacrifice it. Doesn't matter how many times we gotta die, how much loot we gotta blow through to take down any new enemies, find new strategies for the swamp, you know, find the best way of breeding your dogs, leveling up your dogs, all that type of jazz. We gonna be pushing it to the max, and we gonna be having an absolutely fan-freaking-tastic time with it. So make sure y'all stay tuned. It's gonna be a fun one. And dude, check this out. This is what I'm talking about. This is what I can't wait for, because currently we kind of do have this little party system going on. We have Thug Bill coming with us, and we have a true friend Doggo as well. So we're gonna let them do all the bidding over here. Oh baby, yeah, let's let them. Yo, you gonna do something there, buddy? There you go. Look at that. Look at him go. Look at them go. We have 2 people fighting for us at once. That is amazing. That I can get behind. Please and thank you. Please cover me from being attacked. God dang it. What am I paying you for, Mercenary? I paid you $4.99. God dang it, Billy. His name's Thug Bill. Yeah, god dang it, Billy. I paid you $4.99. You better be protecting me better than that. I even provided you with your own weapons, okay? Oh, speaking of devil. And we found some pretty gnarly loot over at this airdrop as well. I cannot complain about the way that today has gone. But dude, even currently, like, this is what I'm talking about, man. We already have these two guys coming along with us, and we'll be able to likely interact with, like, our dog, kind of how we can interact with our mercenary here. Get out of here, fast biter. Interact with our mercenary here, but you know, they probably have their own menu, and the dog might very well have that backpack menu as well, especially if we like do have like that armor we could toss on it, and then, you know, there probably would be that skill system that we could see. You know, it's all playing together very nicely, because, you know, the dogs also have skills that they come along with. Now the stats system, maybe there'd be like a third tab talking about stats and the ability to level them up, and hopefully that's even something we see applied to mercenaries potentially as settlers, right? When the settler system gets incorporated with the outposts, dude, if we could actually level up our settlers too, oh my god, that would be the end all be all of awesomeness, and that would definitely be some dopeness that I could get behind. But with that said and with that done, that's gonna go ahead and start wrapping it up for this episode of Last Day on Earth Survival, with a huge look into this dog revamp that appears to be in the works. Dog armor, dog skills, new dog levels, dog stats, just dog everything. And the fact that we could see a system like that incorporated into mercenaries once they become settlers down the line, because likely that is how it will ultimately end up working, where these mercenaries, kind of like settlers, will work similarly to these guys. And if we can, like, you know, if they are our settlers, if we have the ability to level them up, dude, it's probably gonna have like 3 tabs, I feel like. The equipment tab, the backpack tab, and the stats tab. And dude, oh my god, man. Last Day on Earth, the potential is insane with what could happen with these outposts, with these settlers, with these dogs, and with Thug Bill insulting me and apparently calling me his ex. Thank you, Bill. Thank you, Billy. Love you too. But that's gonna go ahead and wrap it up for me for now. Thank you guys a whole ton for watching. This was an awesome one. I'll talk to you next one. See ya.